Hi. That was a bit scary. It just wasn't letting me go live. Can you see me now, Kathy? So hopefully you can see me now because it's telling me I'm live now. So, great, sorted. Yay. Okay, so lovely to see you. It's great you're here, Kathy. So I'll just quickly take off this. I'll take off my jumper and pop on my mic. So who else is here? Oh, Ruth's here. Yay, hi Ruth. Lovely to see you. And I don't know. It's hard to know. We've got 4, so who knows where people are. Some people, like I say, Eve is coming late. And she doesn't message anymore anyway because she watches on her telly. And it's hard for her to interact when she's on the kind of like big telly. It's funny. And Richard sometimes comes and he doesn't message because he doesn't have a YouTube account. So more to see. Okay, so Delia is here. Hi, Joy. I'm here too and watching you on my TV. Whoop, whoop. Great. Delia, where do you live? Just being nosy, but it's quite nice because if I don't know, because I don't think I know you in person, do I? Do I know you? Is it through YouTube that you've found me, as it were? It's just nice to kind of know where people are and where they're from, and and if I know them. And if you have any, maybe you could comment in the chat box if you have any requests or any areas that you need to be mindful of, which of course you need to just take care of your body, and because I'm obviously can't be there to help adjust you or to help be with you. Oh, you live in Torbay. Great. A local. Yeah. A local YouTuber through YouTube. That's great. That's nice to know. So awesome. Okay. Maybe we should start because So when lockdown is over, I'm definitely starting back up my Monday morning class. I'm actually a bit uncertain about my Wednesday evening, but that's just because someone else has nabbed the time. But you're very welcome. Okay, so we will, I think we'll start. Sorry about my cleavage, it's not very ladylike. And let's start. So because otherwise you don't get much yoga in, and lots of chatting. Okay, that's probably quite good. So find your comfortable seat, your place on your mat. Make yourself really comfortable. So we're going to sit for a little bit. So I'm putting a blanket underneath, so you could put a cushion or a block or anything you want underneath. And just make yourself lovely and comfortable, ready for the day, ready for your yoga practice. And begin to soften your shoulders as you exhale. And start to deepen the inhale. And extend your exhale. Begin to lengthen from the crown of the head, feeling your heart resting over your pelvis, your hips, and your head beginning to rest over your heart. You can always place one hand on the lower belly if you wish to physically feel what that's like. And let's take a few breaths, practicing a lengthening and a slight adjustment of your spine through the crown as you inhale, and a softening as you exhale. In your own time, taking these deep breaths, noticing expansion of your torso on the inhale, a contraction, a softening back towards your spine as you exhale. And take notice of the silence around you. Are there any noises you can hear through the silence? And then bring your awareness back to yourself, to your body. Listening into how you're feeling today. What thoughts are going through your head. And resting with those thoughts, allowing them to be as they are. And check in with any sensations you have in the body. Just taking note, being completely open to those sensations, being welcome. And check in with your feelings as you breathe, as you relax on the exhale. See how you feel and feel in your body, how you feel how you feel emotionally. Just allow whatever comes up to be. So there's no need to change anything, no need to fix anything. Just resting with whatever's there. And then either with your hands on your knees or with the heart and the belly, we'll start with our Om vibration, chanting 3 times. And gently opening your eyes. And bringing the hands to your knees. You can release blanket or block or anything, or you can stay sitting on it because we're going to be sitting for a while. And then begin to inhale forward and exhale back. coming to the Brahmanaka, which is the seated Sufi grinds, they sometimes get called, where you're moving in a circle from the hips. Inhale and exhale. Lovely. That's great. So you could be practicing this with your eyes closed if you wish. Inhaling forward and then going in the other direction. It's a wonderful way of waking up your lower back and all around your hips. And then start to spiral inwards. So the movement is becoming less and less as you reduce the circles. And then eventually your heart will be resting over your hips and your head over your heart. And then bringing in the seated cat, inhaling forward, opening up the chest, exhaling back. You can even allow the wrists to move over your knees, so your hands are touching the mat if that happens. Inhale forward, exhale back. This is a lovely way of rounding the back. So remembering your breath is guiding the movement. Beautiful flowing movements. Feeling your spine waking up as you flex and extend. If you involve the neck as well, you're involving the whole of your spine. If it feels okay, only putting your neck back if it feels okay to do that. It's a sensitive area of the body. And then bringing yourself back up to neutral. So we have the hips, heart and head in alignment. And then placing the left hand down or the right hand down and the left one up. Either is fine. And taking some breaths here. You can lift up the hand again and then exhale down. Taking flowing movements. That's great. Just in your own time. And then bringing yourself back up and over to the other side. So again, we're flowing with the arm, the top arm. Gently stretching out the side body. Deep breath. So remember, you can be using your Ujjayi breath if you know it. So it's like constriction in the back of the throat. In through the nose and out through the nose. And then bringing yourself up. Lovely. And then we'll walk the hands out ahead. We'll come into the forward fold. So just a cross-legged forward fold. So you might only be up here, and that's fine. Sorry, I have to go. Bring yourself down, lovely. You can have a mudra. Quite nice to bring in mudras here and there. So that's like where you put your hands together and at the forehead or and then bringing yourself back up, bringing back your hands and the knees up and rocking from side to side. Stretching out your legs a little bit. You've been sitting for a while. And then crossing in the other direction. So in my case, it's my left goes in front because I usually have my right in front. So inhale up and then exhale forward. Inhale and then folding forward. And gently bring yourself back up. Lovely. Stretching out your legs. This has become one of my favorite warm-ups. Okay. And then moving from side to side. Exhale. Inhale up and exhale to the other side. It's just so nice to stretch, have the wide leg stretch. Oh, letting the breath guide your movement. So you're only going as fast as your breath is going, rather than your breath having to follow how fast you're going. And then sitting up and then forward for exhale. Inhale, lengthening. For exhale, softening. Enjoying waking up stretches. And then gently snaking yourself back up so you get to like move your spine from side to side as you bring yourself back up. And then bringing the feet and the legs underneath you. Bring yourself up onto all fours. And keeping this flowing feeling going. So we're keeping on the flowing theme. And start to move your body however you want to in a cat posture. So your hands are below your shoulders and your knees are below your hips. And you're just gently moving the spine anyway. So if you enjoyed that snaking, that little bit of snaking we did as we came up from the wide leg forward fold, you can just see what happens if you carry on snaking the spine like that. Hips going one way, shoulders going the other way. And just feel into what your body wants this morning. Remembering as you exhale, and if you scoop your pelvis, if you scoop the hips, you can also lift up your pelvic floor. It's a perfect opportunity for strengthening your mula bandha, all those inner core muscles that so support us. So if you've ever had back problems, almost definitely it will be something to do with having a slightly weak core. So I'm doing something that's kind of a bit renegade here. So I'm bringing my right hand forward and then coming down into the almost cobra, almost upward dog, and then the left hand forward and doing the same. So you can follow me if you want or carry on making your own movements. It just felt like something I wanted to do. So that's what's happening. And then I'm going to start moving my hands forward and coming into, so both hands forward are coming into a mixture between cobra and upward dog. And then exhale back, stretching out the upper back so it's almost a child, but it's more puppy pose. Inhale forward. Exhale, really stretching between your shoulder blades. And if you want to, you can creep one hand forward and the other hand forward while you're here. So it's a little game of sliding your hands up the mat one at a time, stretching out your shoulders and shoulder blades and side body a bit. And if you need anything underneath your knees, blankets underneath is really good. If it's getting a bit much, having your, depends if you're on a wooden floor. See, because I'm on a carpet, it's not so bad here. And then bring the hands below your shoulders again. And then we can just walk out over to the side to stretch out the side body. Breathing into, in my case, it's my right hand side I'll be breathing into. The one that's being stretched because I'm over to the left. And then bring yourself back to center and over to the other side. If you have your hands parallel, so it's like they're parallel, they're in line with the mat, it really stretches quite a lot. So kind of properly over to the side. But it just depends what your body wants to do, what your body does generally. And then opening up the knees and touching your toes, and start to bring yourself forward into Anahatasana. So this is like puppy pose, but it's more of a, I guess it's more of a fairly traditional posture. So bring your heart down onto the mat, and you might have your chin down. Otherwise, you'll have your head down. And if you've got your head down, you might not have your chest onto the mat. Just being careful of your body and what's okay for it. So it's a bit of an upper back stretch. Deep breaths. So we're breathing into this stretch because we want to use the breath to soften the muscles, which will help stretch the upper back. And then begin to bring yourself back up. That's lovely. Closing the knees. Bring the hands a bit further forward, turning the toes around, and then coming up into a hover where you're lifting the knees off the mat, lifting up your pelvic floor and your abdominal muscles. So you're really strengthening here. So if you've got any issues with your back, it might be too soon to do that because you might just strengthen your belly muscles. But if you'll find this is great. And then easing your chest back to towards your knees. Bend your knees. And then lift up onto tiptoes. And then exhale the feet down, and you can walk out the dog. So your heels are coming down one at a time for taking the dog for a walk. And then you can spend a moment here in the full downward dog with your heels going back towards the mat. And then lowering your knees down and bringing yourself back. Have a little rock around of your wrists. You've been on the wrists quite a lot. And then maybe place your hand, the back of your hand down and turning the wrists back on it a little bit. And then the other side. That's great. Really good. And then bring your hands underneath you. So I'm sorry, hands underneath your shoulders is what I mean. And then you'll bring your knees together. And we're coming into tiger. So exhale the right knee underneath. Lift up pelvic floor and abdominal muscles, being careful. If you're feeling like your strength depends on your strength in your abs, how well this is for you. And then lift up. Inhale, looking up, looking forward, lift up the back leg. The leg that you're using, the right leg. Exhale under. Inhale up. Now, this is your practice. So if you're feeling that you've got loads of energy, you could be doing this really fast. but just mindfully. So remember to do pelvic floor on the exhale, so lifting up pelvic floor and abdominal muscles. You could be doing it really fast, or you could be doing it really slow. Anything in between. It's great for your strengthening your glute muscles, which is very important, strengthening your abdominal muscles and your back muscles. Deep breaths. So using the Ujjayi breath if you are, otherwise you could bring in the Pilates breath if you wish to, which is where you inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Either is supportive with this one. And then lowering that knee down. Just if you find that you're just quite strong on the other knee, you could just kind of bring it up for a little bit. Maybe bring the legs out. And yeah, again, remember you could put blanket, like a rolled up blanket or something underneath your knees at any point. And shake out your wrists. For some reason, I'm noticing my wrist today. I don't know why. You can use your wrist to shake out. Okay, and then coming to the next leg. So exhale, the left leg knee towards you, rounding the back. Inhale up and looking up. Exhale. And again, you can be doing it fast. If you want a bit more cardio, or keeping it slow and gentle, anything in between. The main thing is you're stable when you're doing it. So if it's something you practice quite a bit, or you feel like you know it, or you've got really strong core muscles, then you're likely to be stable. The core muscles are your pelvic floor and the layers of abdominal muscle that support your back. Obviously, your back is included in the whole girdle of muscles which really support you. But quite often, the lower back actually, muscles are quite tight because it's taking the strain because the abdominal muscles are weak. Inhale, exhale down. And lowering down your knee, your leg, and coming back into charge. You can open up your knees slightly in and come back. Just have a little rest. And then looking forward. Having the great thing about child, if you notice, you're in a perfect position for down dog because your arms are stretched out. You can press the thumb and forefinger into the mat. Inhale up, bring your knees so that they're parallel, so they're hip width apart. Turn the toes around, and then come back into downward dog. And your hand positioning is pretty much perfect. And then we'll inhale, lift up the right leg so that your hips are in line with the mat. So the hips are next to each other. And then if you can, you're bringing your foot through, but it can come through in any way. You don't have to, you can, take your time getting it through. And then inhale, looking forward, stretching out your hip. So you're like in a runner's lunge. So the knee's off the mat. Of course, you can lower the knee if it feels too much. And then bringing yourself up into a warrior two position. So your heel, you're bringing your right leg in a little bit. So you're making sure you've got heel to heel alignment, and then you're bringing yourself up. Opening up into warrior two. So the knee is over ankle. You can see your big toe, which means you're opening up your hips here. 15 degrees on the back foot coming in. You're rolling back on the back foot a little bit, so you're opening up through the arch. Hands to the heart. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring your hands to the heart. It's a bit of a flowing warrior here. Inhale, open. Exhale. Opening up. Lovely. Exhale. Keeping your warrior two. So making sure your alignments. I won't be doing the Iyengar thing where you go around hitting people with little rods, but just making sure that you've got your knee over the ankle and your arms are in line with the mat, soft shoulders, face muscles, looking straight ahead, and then turning your palm around the front one and then coming back into peaceful warrior. Strong on the front leg, lifting up pelvic floor, especially for women. So we're keeping ourselves contained and strong. And then bring yourself gently forward in Parshvakonasana. So this might be where you're at. And I think actually I tend to practice Parshvakonasana like this, where I've got my hand, my arm, my forearm on my thigh, but you're just keeping it so that you're not really resting too heavily. But you can also come down if you wish, but that's a much lower thing, going really quite low, you see. And then you're adjusting here, so you're not staying up like this. You're adjusting so that you're still at horizontal line. And then bring yourself back up, opening up the chest and clasping the hands behind, and then coming forward into peaceful warrior. So this is quite strong. So if you ever need a break, just straighten your knee. It really helps. It's strong to do these all at once. Do a little warrior sequence. And it's a deep breath. It's nice. And bring yourself back up. Whoo, that was strong, wasn't it? And then we'll look forward. Bring out the foot. And then coming to the top of the mat with the feet hip width apart. The outside edges are in line with the mat. Feel the strength in that leg. Oh, it's kind of burning, isn't it? That right front leg. When we're just using, and then lifting up through the arches of the feet. Have the hands at the heart center in Anjali Mudra. Hands softening the shoulders. Softening the face muscles. Just taking a moment to be here. So checking in with yourself, how you're feeling. And feeling a lengthening through the crown. Lifting, imagining this golden thread lifting you gently up. And then bring the hands out to the side. Lift up, stretch up through the side body. So you're holding yourself in an extended mountain, slightly tucking in your tailbone, bringing in your abdominal muscles. Your arms are parallel. And then bring the hands, the palms facing forward, bending the knees slightly and bringing yourself down. So we're doing a forward fold with the hands quite consciously down, and then placing the hands on the mat if they want to go there. But you might need to bend your knees if you're doing that. Bend the knees. Inhale. Straightening the knees. Exhale, bending the knees. So it might be that you're here with your hands on your shins, and that's fine as well. Just going to a flow. It's a lovely hamstring lower back stretch if it's comfortable for you. And then flat back with your hands on your shins. Exhale, fold forward. Take a breath in. And then exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Deep breaths. Lovely. Breath in, and then bringing yourself forward into plank. So You have options in plank. So you can lower the knees down, that's fine. Otherwise, if you really want to strengthen and you feel like you'd like a slightly stronger practice, keep yourself how I am. I haven't got my bum in the air or my bum down, like holding myself really strong with my abdominal muscles. It's mainly, to be honest, it's all about the core muscles, really. So keeping yourself lovely and strong in your abdominal muscles. And if it feels like it's too much, lower the knees. And then you can, actually, let's all this time, we might come back to this again, but all lower the knees unless you know chaturanga and you want to come down straight. And lower the chest down and the chin down in Ashtangasana with your knees, your bum in the air. And you've got 8 points on the mat. Your feet, your knees, your hands, your chest and your chin. And then exhaling down onto prone position on your tummy. So exhale here and then inhale up with your hands by your shoulders and your elbows are bent and in at your sides. Inhale up. So you might want to be coming up into this higher cobra, or you might choose to do the lower cobra down here. I'm feeling like a higher cobra this morning. And then exhale the shoulders away from the ears. Take a breath. And then exhaling down. Turning the toes round. Take a breath in. And then exhale back into downward dog. Deep full breaths. So really enjoying this down dog. Just breathe into it. Feeling the stretch in the back, stretch in the legs. You can shake your head, keep the neck loose, nodding it and waving it from left to right a little bit. And then inhale up the left leg. So your hips are parallel with the mat. And then bringing the foot through and turning round the back foot. So the right foot is now at the back and you're in about 15 degrees, clipped it in. You're clipping the foot in and the left knee is over the left ankle and you can see your big toe opening up your hips. Bring the hands to the heart and coming into flowing warrior two. Inhale, opening. Exhale. Inhale, open. And exhale, remembering to lift up pelvic floor. Mula Bandha. Inhale and exhale. Breath in and exhaling. Lovely. Keeping the flow and then holding the position. So really looking forward over your warrior two. Arm, your left one. Your knee is over your ankle. Turning your left hand round so the palm is up and coming back into peaceful warrior. Remember, you can always have breaks. So really straightening your leg is a wonderful break. Just a few breaths here in peaceful warrior. You might be looking up at your hand or your elbow crease. And then bring yourself forward into Pajvakonasana. Remember, you've got this horizontal, not horizontal. Is it called horizontal? I'm getting so confused. Vertical, horizontal, and what's the other one? Diagonal, that's right. Diagonal line going across. So if you're down here, if you choose to be down here, your diagonal line is much lower. Like this. And then bring yourself back up. Remember, you can have a break. And then clasping behind, opening up your chest, coming down into humble warrior. Lovely deep breaths. That's perfect. And then bringing yourself back up. Lovely. And stepping to the front of the mat. I think that's what we did. Yep. Pretty sure. It was after humble warrior. So bring yourself to the front of the mat. Feet hip width apart. Lifting up through your arches of the feet. Slightly tucking in your pelvis. Slightly engaging your abdominal muscles. Feeling the golden thread lifting from the crown of the head. Softening your shoulders, your face muscles. And the hands can be at the heart. And then lifting up the arms so that you're in an extended mountain. The hands by your ears, but they're in line with your shoulders. Your legs are in line with your hips and your arms are in line with your shoulders. Turning the palms to face forward, bending the knees slightly. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale and exhale. Lovely. Take a breath in and then step back to downward dog. A few deep breaths here in downward dog. And then bring yourself forward, exhale into plank. So you're either staying up here or remember you can lower your knees down. Take a breath in and then exhale, chaturanga. So you bring yourself straight down or with your knees down first and coming onto the mat. And then inhale up, low cobra or into a high cobra. Remember your elbows are in at your side. Opening up. Deep breaths. And exhale down. Lovely. Turning the toes round. And exhale back into downward dog. And then walk the feet towards the hands. So you're coming to the front of the mat again. And just hang here for a moment. You can even move your knees in and out. That's good. Or forwards and back, I mean. And then bending your right knee a bit. What am I doing? Yeah, coming over into, so I'm getting this, just to make sure I get this right. Bringing your right hand on the left knee, but you're bending your right knee, so you've got, and coming into a twist. Uttanasana, so a standing twist. If you can, you're looking up at the ceiling or the sky, or hand. And then bringing yourself forward, and then the other way. So bending the left knee a bit more. And coming into the twist, you'll be bending your right knee as well. And then if you can, you're looking up at the top hand. You're resting your left arm on your left knee, or above the left knee. And then bringing yourself forward, bend the knees and rolling up. So really hanging your arms down and roll up. That's perfect, lovely. And so just coming into a balance, lifting up on your tiptoes. Exhale up, lift up your pelvic floor, hold in your belly. all the muscles around here. Inhale down. Exhale. Inhale down. Exhale up, lifting up Mula Bandha and your powerhouse, pelvic floor, your core muscles. Exhale, coming up again. My ankles are quite they're quite hypermobile, my ankles. So don't watch mine. Hopefully you get nice strong ankles. And then bringing your feet down. And I was thinking, nice to do a balance today, and well, it's good to do balance every time if you can. But I was thinking of doing either plant your right leg and lift up your left leg, and you have your hand. There's two different ways of doing it. You can either have your hand on the inside of your foot, so your thumb is resting, so your hand is going around your arch. That's one way of doing it, but you can actually just grab the back of your foot with your hand on the outside. That's fine as well. So either way. And you can just stay here if you want, and that's a really good balance. You could even have your finger on a wall and just balance and lift up your pelvic floor, lift up your core muscles, keeping your belly lovely and strong, and feeling the line coming through your leg and then through your spine and up through the crown of the head. So you're keeping the balance nice and straight running through you, and you keep that going. So keep that line going, feeling that you're really in alignment and you're really strong, belly strong. So then you can move the arm out the leg out like I'm doing, and you can bring the hand forward in a mudra if you want, with your thumb and forefinger together, chin mudra, and you can just stay here. I don't go much further forward because I haven't got a back that likes to do back bends. It really upsets my back. So that's about as far as I go. So just play around with that and see how far you want to go. It's really strong on your leg if you come forward like this. And I'm lifting up my pelvic floor. I'm lifting up my core muscles, keeping myself really strong. You don't have to be here if you don't want to. If you're like some ex-dancer or something and you can put your hands back and grab your foot, then go for it. Woo! I had to bring myself down. I came out of that quite quickly, but you can just come slowly down, bring yourself out, and then have a little sway from side to side. Nice Hawaiian dance from side to side. And then coming onto the other side. So planting your left foot and lifting up the right. I've got my hand turned around and it's taking the arch, the inside, my arch. Otherwise you have the outside. And remember, you can put your finger on the side of a wall. Just hold yourself here. Strong abdominal muscles. Strong Mula Bandha. Your pelvic floor is lifted. All the muscles in your vaginal wall if you're a woman. Perineum if you're a man. Bringing your thumb and forefinger together in the mudra, and then come as far as you want. So this might be enough. I can't really look at you on the side for some reason. And then bring your leg up. So see how far your leg wants to go before you come forward. Only come forward if you're... Basically, the leg coming up is the thing first to do, and then keeping your abs really strong. Really keeping... And the breathing, so remembering to breathe. Deep breaths. Ujjayi breath will help. And your drishti, I forgot to mention drishti, your eye gaze. So keeping a steady eye gaze. And when you're ready, bring the leg back and bring it down. Woo, that's strong. So then you have a little hula dance from side to side. Maybe walk out the legs. And then bring the legs wide. Coming into a squat. So lift up again from the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. All these standing postures is so important. Your feet are really important. Keep your toes lovely and wide, lowering the toes down so they're nice and wide and relaxed. And of course, here, so your root lock, so important. Abdominal muscles, so important. The legs will naturally build up strength. That tends to happen with legs. But keeping this whole area strong, this whole area lifted, like lifted up. Hands on the hips. And then bringing the hands out in goddess pose. And then you could have a little dance, so lifting up one foot, then the other foot. You can change around your hands. So your mudra is the chin mudra, again, the same one we just did for Nataraj Asana, which is a dancer's posture. And this is the goddess pose. Really strong. We're doing some good, wow, we're doing leg work today, aren't we? And then bring the hands to the hips and then come down into a squat. So if you need blocks underneath your feet, on backs of your heels, and that's when you put them behind on your heels. So it's a bit like you're on high heels. That can stop you from kind of end up having to do this. It makes it more supportive. You can bring your hands in, heart. Lovely. That's great. And then lowering down. Oh, I have to say, that was really strong. Well, I obviously needed that. That's the problem. It's really hard to gauge what other people need when you're on YouTube. It's like, clearly I'm in that mood. So hopefully other people were not feeling too sensitive. And remember, you can always opt out. Okay, so lifting through the crown, opening up the arms. Exhale forward with your legs straight. Inhale and exhale. Just finding wherever it is. It might not be your feet, it might be your shins. Inhale, open. Being careful of your lower back. Remember, your abdomen helps so much. And then bring your hands behind and just pointing and flexing your feet. And taking your feet out a little bit and giving them a roll around. Those standing postures, they might have got a bit tense in your ankles, and then the other way. And then bringing your left foot in and your right foot back. So the feet are going to the right, they're going that way. For you, that will be the other way. So as long you can do it the other way, that's fine, but as long as you remember. Now this is called deer pose, and I find that when I do deer pose, I need it's quite good to have a little cushion just here underneath my left hip, the one that's not got a foot near it. And that kind of helps. So we'll use this pose as a gentle twist. So inhale, lengthening, and then exhale over to the left. So you're going over to the side that doesn't have a foot behind it. Opposite side to your feet. And lengthening and softening into the twist. Lovely deep breaths, that's good. And then bring yourself back for a moment. And I've just remembered, actually, this is deer pose, but then it's also got there's a name of a sage if you do it with your, I'm just going to show you something you can do if you are feeling like it's like it's an advancement on it. It's a stretch further. So you can bring your left ankle up here. So you're in a bit like half lotus, but with the right leg back. And then this becomes a posture, a traditional posture that is in the old books and things like that. So you could do this as an extra. So we'll go, but don't if you don't want to. So inhale, lengthening. It's called Brahma Brahmasana or something. I'll have to look it up. So inhale, lengthen, and exhale over to that side. So remembering you can twist a little bit more if your body wishes to as you exhale. Feeling the stretch in your leg if you've got your leg like this. And then bringing yourself back, releasing that leg down, and then bringing out your right leg into Janu Shavasana. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale down. And bringing your left arm up if that's where you're going. And let's have a little circle around. I like the circling because it slightly changes the stretch. Deep breaths. Inhale and exhale and find your foot or the mat, carpet, or the floor, or your shin, anything like that, wherever you are. And looking at your big toe, paradrishti, your eye gaze at your foot. Inhale and then exhale, looking at your foot. I just suddenly thought, you know how Sanskrit has influenced our language because of the Silk Road from like hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago. Pada being foot in Sanskrit, it's a bit, reminds me of like why it's called like if we have a pedicure. I was thinking like whatever they're called, podiatrist. Anyway, the ones that deal with your feet. It's like, actually, it's similar to foot in Sanskrit, because Sanskrit's such an old language. It's like ancient language, 5,000 years or whatever, more. But it hasn't changed from then much at all. It obviously doesn't get used anymore, other than yoga. It's not a modern language. So, keeping your gaze, your foot, and then inhale up, and then exhale over to the side. So we're coming into a twist a little bit on the other side. Yeah, because yoga is thought to mean yoke. So the word yoke over here, like the yoke on an ox and cart around the top of the ox, or like a cow, goes over the top of the wooden yoke, then that's meant to be the word like for union or connecting. It's the word meaning the thing that connects it to the cart, and they reckon that's from the word yoga, which means union, uniting the mind, body, spirit together. Whether or not that's true or not, but that's the rumor on the street. And then inhale up, exhale back. And we'll bring our legs the other way. So I'll change my blanket around, bringing back into the deer pose. So the feet are going to the left. And gently inhale up and exhale into the twist. So we're twisting the way that we just have done just now. So either you're staying in this twist for the whole time like this, and of course you can change it and modify it and move out of it and do what you like. But generally we're staying here, lifting, and then exhaling a little more into the twist. Or you're going to bring up your foot. Oh, is that the right one? Yeah, I think that's right. Bring up your foot so you're coming into the half lotus. It's a bit like a half lotus with your right leg. An extra different thing. Deep breaths, lovely. And then bring yourself forward. Perfect. And then you're stretching out your left leg. And we're coming into the Janu Shavasana. Janu being your head, your knee, and Shirsh being your head. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale over. And then bringing in the lovely circling of the arm. It's really nice. Deep breaths, that's good. Remembering to keep breathing. And then finding your place. So on the floor or your shin or your foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, gently softening. And having a look at your foot. Stretching out. I don't know about you, but it really stretches out my back. It stretches out like the side that's with the bent knee. Stretch out around the lumbar spine. All the muscles there. Inhale and exhale. Again, I always forget to say, of course, you can use a strap here as well. And then inhale, bringing yourself up. And exhale, coming into the twist. Another option I didn't give for this twist is you can actually do it from your foot, holding your shin, because it stretches a slightly different place in your back, so higher up. I didn't do this on the other side. And beginning to release as you come up. That's great. Lovely. And then finding your way down onto the mat with your knees hip-width apart and your feet hip-width apart. And then gently exhale the pelvic floor and the sacrum, the coccyx, so your hips, so you exhale your hips up, making sure that your knees are staying hip width apart, so parallel. There we are. You can place a block in or something. Exhale, inhale down. Just gently take these pelvic tilts, so you're lifting up your pelvic floor and tilting your pelvis, your hips, and pressing your lumbar spine, the lordosis and the curvature of the spine, if you have one, into the mat. We're all meant to have a curvature there, but some people have a stronger one than others. I've got quite a curvy spine. Sorry, yawning because I'm lying down. It's really nice. Lying down's good. And then exhale, bring yourself up a little bit further up to your ribs. Take a breath in now and then exhale down. So we're going to be breathing in at the bottom and at the top. Inhale, then exhale up to your shoulder blades. Inhale, exhale down, placing one vertebrae at a time back onto the mat. Inhale, peeling the spine off the mat, lifting up on the floor. Bring yourself up onto your shoulders. Breath in, exhale down. Breath in, exhale, bring yourself up so that you're in the full bridge posture. Maybe clasp underneath and hold yourself here for a few breath cycles. Feeling your feet planted heavy on the mat. If you need to lift up your toes, please do, and rest them down gently if you're noticing they're digging into the mat. Inhale and exhale. Bring yourself down, and you can release a block if you've got it between your knees. And then bring the knees up. And then exhale. Well, breathe. Move from side to side. And any yawns are good. Nice yawning. Yawning is good because it's helping you relax. And then placing your feet back onto the mat. And bring your arms out to the side. Or bring the feet to the edge of the mat this time. Just have a go at a slightly different twist. And then exhale over to one side, inhale up, and then over to the other side. So in your own time, this is a different stretch than than a normal twist, because you're not twisting so much from your waist. It's more stretching out your hips and the thighs. Just remembering that your breathing goes, that you're exhaling as you move over, and inhale as you come up. And we're beginning to relax with engaging any muscles now. So if you had enough of me talking about pelvic floor, you can relax now. Just let it all go. Lovely. That's perfect. Good. Then bring yourself back up. Then bring the knees so that they're hip width again. Lift up your hips and bring them over a couple of inches to the right. And lift up your knees or leave them down. You can leave your feet down if you want, but otherwise lift up your knees and come over to the left. That's a little bit stronger. Put your hand on the top knee, because it's actually a nice way of adjusting yourself, and look out over your right arm. Some deep breaths in the twist. And relax. So just allow yourself to fully relax. Just rest here. And then bring yourself back up, lifting up the hips, placing back to center. Lift them up and over a couple of inches over to the other side. Bring in your knees if that's what you want to do. Please don't if you want it a bit less. And then bring the knees over to the right, and the head goes and looks out over the left arm, and you can place your right hand on the top of your top knee. It's fine. And breathe, but gently. Gently and relaxed. And then moving your knees back up, coming back to center, and bring your knees into the chest. Have a rock around. And bringing the legs up, and you can take hold of your feet. That's great. Have a little rock from side to side. And happy baby. So if you struggle with taking hold of your feet, you can bring your hands behind your thighs. It's fine. You're just like grabbing hold of your backs of your knees, have a little rock around. I yawn. I hope you're yawning. Maybe you don't want to, like me. And then you can also widen your legs and have a wide leg stretch here. So you can bring your hands in between your thighs, or you can stretch out with your hands, your peace fingers around your toes, depending on flexibility, to see how that is. And then bringing your feet together and your knees apart, and placing one hand on your heart, another hand on your belly in Supta Baddha Konasana. So you've got your lovely wide stretch here. And gently breathe. That's good. Just allow yourself to fully relax now. And we're going to come down into Shavasana. So making yourself comfortable with socks and blankets and pillows and cushions and whatever you need, eye mask, and just have a good rest, because we will be here for a little bit. I'd like to finish with a proper Shavasana if possible. In these classes, because in the videos it's harder to do that because it's less. The videos tend to need to be shorter, but in a class we can keep longer Shavasana. That's nice. So fully pamper yourself. Get the lavender out. Hot water bottle. I'm feeling a bit cold. But the main thing is you're completely relaxing here on the mat. So finding stillness in your body. Feeling totally restful, peaceful, soft. And the relaxation is washing over you as it's like you're wrapped in a lovely, soft, sleepy blanket. And feeling yourself resting here, all snuggled up on the mat. Allowing your body to completely rest in this corpse pose. Shavasana. So there's a time when no muscles need to be working right now, other than those to keep you alive. There's no engagement of your muscles. Almost feels like your bones are completely relaxed. I know that's not their function, but have that feeling where it's like your bones are jelly and your ligaments and tendons are jelly. Your muscles can totally be at ease, soft. Feeling a warm light starting at the crown of your head. There's a warmth which is slowly enveloping you as you move from the crown, or the warmth, it moves from the crown down to your third eye, around your brow, all the way around the back of the head, down across your eyes. Feel your eyes soften with this warm light touching them, and down your nose. The sides of your nose, softening in your face, your cheeks. All the way around the back of the neck. There's this warmth. Just imagine like a infrared heater or even a gentle fire. Warmth and that coming around your chin, your jaw, down the front of your throat. Feeling the light spreading around your shoulders, almost like a cloak. Shoulder blades, your upper back, down to your chest, resting at your heart. This wonderful warm light. And down your arms. Into your hands. Feeling the warmth in your hands and your fingers. It's almost like you're holding something light and warm in the palms of your hands. It's like when you might rescue a bird, feeling the warmth of that bird in the palm of your hand. Feeling their life force. And from the heart, lovely warmth coming around you, around your middle, around your solar plexus area, your mid-back, and down to your sacrum, around your bladder and your womb, if you were, or womb space, if you're a woman. Your lower organs, if you're a man, all the way around your inner organs. It's like you're bringing a blanket, like a lovely wool blanket around you to keep you warm, around your middle. And down to your hips. And then feeling the warm light coming down your legs, upper legs and the knees and your lower legs, down to your feet wrapped in warm slippers, warm socks. Just feeling that light rest, like you're stretching over the fire when they've been cold and they're just slowly warming up. And the whole body is filled with a relaxation and a peacefulness, a softness, feeling held and nurtured and warm. completely supported, cocooned. Whole body is completely relaxed. The open door. A door opens. Maybe I've been standing here shuffling my weight from foot to foot for decades. Or maybe I only knocked once. In truth, it doesn't matter. A door opens and I walk through without a backward glance. This is it, then, one moment of truth in a lifetime of truth. A choice made, a path taken, the gravitational pull of spirit too compelling to ignore any longer. I am received by something far too vast to see. It has roots in antiquity, but speaks clearly in the present tense. Be, the vastness says. Be without adverbs, descriptions, or qualities. Be so alive that awareness bears itself uncloaked and unadorned. Then go forth to give what you alone can give. Awake to love and suffering, unburdened by weight of expectations. Go forth to see and be seen, blossoming, always blossoming into your magnificence. Start to deepen your breath. Begin to notice yourself lying there heavy on the mat. Start to make some small movements, maybe your fingers and your toes. And then begin to bring yourself onto your side. When you're ready, if you need to take stretches first or draw the knees into the chest first, just do those things. Find your way from your side to seated when you're ready, in your own time. Of course, you're welcome to stay relaxing for longer. And then when you've come back up to seated, you can find a comfortable seat with your eyes closed. And take a couple of breaths, lengthening as you inhale, and gently relaxing as you exhale. With your heart over your hips and your head over your heart. And we'll close this practice together with our Om vibration, chanted 3 times, and finishing with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Breathing in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And then bring the hands into Namaste and reaching them above the head. Mudra. Taking 3 deep, life-affirming breaths. And bring the hands overhead. And then down through the centers. Sahasrara at the crown, Ajna at the third eye, Shuddhi at the throat, and Anahata at the heart center. Namaste. And thank you for joining me. It's always lovely to have you. Thank you for joining this Tuesday morning class. Bye, Ruth. Ruth had to go. Okay, so yeah, thank you for joining the class. That was lovely. A few people have obviously gone. It was nice to have a 7 in the group. It's always sweet. Don't know where they're from. So yeah, just if you want to say hello, you can. Otherwise, we can just finish the stream. But if you want to say hello, yeah, just say about that poem. It's really lovely to think of the vastness, reminding us of our magnificence. So yeah, take that with you on your day. Oh, thank you, Delia. Have you been before? It's nice to have you. It's great. Yeah, you're welcome anytime because it's every Tuesday morning, and also it's Thursday evenings, just for an hour on Thursday evening, 7:30 to 8:30. If anyone wishes to donate, I haven't actually put the donate link up this time, but if you can always go to one of my videos. It'll be at the bottom of this video as well, but any of my videos, and it's got a little donate link if you wish to donate. Oh, I'm so pleased you've been many times and I didn't know. That's really nice. Oh, see you soon, Kathy. Yes, so Delia, if you want to come to the Monday, I don't know if Monday suits you, but I've got Monday morning class, which hopefully I'm going to start on the 17th of May. Hopefully. I'd love to start it sooner, but it will be naughty. I can't. It'll be breaking the rules. Okay, so lovely to see you, ladies. And that's so sweet. You've been actually, I'm really touched. You've been quite a few times, and I didn't even know you haven't said hello. That's great because there's all these people that just turn up. I just like, oh, there's quite a few people, and then I don't know who they are. So okay, I suppose we better finish our stream because people will be going. But have a lovely day, being magnificent and amazing. Yeah. Whatever the date is after the 17th of May or on the 17th of May, whatever it is, then we can have a class. We'll just do our classes. It's in the Angel Hall, which is really beautiful. I don't know if you've been. Have you been to the Angel Hall before? At Bowden House. It's got, look at its ceiling. Got a lovely ceiling. Actually, I don't need to do that with my, I actually don't even need to do it with my computer. I can do it with the webcam. Look at that ceiling. Isn't that cool? That's the room. It's kind of a mirror image of the room, actually. And that's where we've been practicing. Yeah. And there's the doors. And that's my computer. So that's it. Oh, great. You've been to the menopause workshop. That's great. Yeah, that was with Nisha, wasn't it? Did Nisha do the menopause workshop? I think so. That's great. Okay, I suppose better go. Lovely to see you all. And yes, the ceiling. Everyone loves the ceiling. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm waffling on. Actually, because we've got Tula Mamas in here because the mother and baby groups are allowed to carry on the support groups. So Tula Mama is in here very soon, so I better go. Lots of love. Bye. I love Nisha. She's great. She's really good.